from her post. And she was not given any posting. And she came to her Swamiji weeping, Swamiji, I was trying to follow the truth. I was so honest. I was doing my duty. And I am being thrown like this. She was very much frustrated. No posting. Then our Swami said, don't worry. Satyameva jayate. Ultimately, the truth shall triumph. Okay, you wait for the posting. For the time being, read the books of Swami Vivekananda. She started reading the books of Swami Vivekananda. And she got tremendous power, confidence. And one day she rang up, Swamiji, I have got a posting, but the worst possible posting. What? I have to keep watch over Tihar jail. Okay, whatever God has given you, take it as God's worship and make your prisoners, as Swamiji says, worship of God in man. Make this worship, take your prisoners as your God. Then she arranged for a talk of our Swamiji. Our Swamiji went there, she had meditation session, then there was discourse, and our Swamiji told all the prisoners, Kiran Bedi, Kiran is your mother. Treat her as mother. And Kiran Bedi herself started behaving them as if she is a mother. So you might have seen such short figure. She came to Porbandar. We had a statue installation. She is very close to us. I met her parents also in our house, and she comes to us. She came to Porbandar during unveiling of statue Swami Vivekananda. She was sharing the same platform with me. We had an All India Youth Convention on 25th November 1994. That was the centenary of Swami Vivekananda's Chicago addresses. So there was an All India Youth Convention. There were about 40,000 youths in Calcutta. That is Ravindra Sarovar Stadium, an open stadium, 40,000 youths. So there I gave the speech. Whatever I am trying to give you today, that I gave that day. I am giving today. And Kiran Bedi was also with me. Now Kiran Bedi was told, you take. So she read the books of Vivekananda and she got confidence. And afterwards, she started serving. When she started serving Tihar jail Kedis, prisoners, and converted Tihar jail into Tihar ashram, she did not know that Magsaysay award was waiting for her. So don't get frustrated by failures. Remember, failures are the stepping stones to success. Have always positive ideas. And whenever you are frustrated, go to a person having positive ideas. You know, sometimes what happens? If you go to a negative person, you become more frustrated. And he starts telling, oh, the world is bad, and the people are bad, and everything is bad, and the situation is bad, and there is nothing to live. Oh, okay, I also want to die. Okay, let us die together. So, if you come in contact with negative-minded people, you will also become negative. So go to people who are positive. And always remember, Swamiji's one good, very nice teaching. To be happy and smiling always takes you nearer to God than any prayer in this world. To be happy and smiling always takes you nearer to God than any prayer in this world. Always smiling, but not the smile of air hostess. That is an artificial smile. She is paid for it, and you know that she is smiling, but she has to make hard labor for giving a smile. Because how many times she will smile? So much she has to smile, so she becomes frustrated because of smile. Not that smile. But smile should come from within when you are happy and cheerful. To be happy and smiling always and cheerful. So always be cheerful. Don't be any time cowed down by these temporary failures. To be happy and smiling always takes you nearer to God than any prayer in this world. Swami himself was always cheerful. When he would give talks, speeches, very serious. But after the speeches, then he will enjoy. He will have ice cream party, and then he will enjoy, and then he will laugh and make merry. In America, sometimes they would feel very much out of sort. What is this? He is a monk. He is a monk, he is a religious preacher, and he is laughing and smiling and like that. So sometimes they could not digest it. One day one lady could not contain herself. Swami, you ought to be a little serious. You are a religious preacher. You know, in America, the fathers, they have to be very serious. Religious preachers should have long faces. Very serious. So, one lady said, Swami, you ought to be a little serious. You are a religious teacher. Swamiji, he always used to give instant reply. Yes, madam, I too become serious. It's not that I am always like this. I too become serious when I have got stomachache. So when you got stomachache, okay, you become serious. But you don't have stomachache and still you become serious? What is this? So always happy and smiling. And Swamiji had a very nice way of presenting the thing. When he's in America, when he went and when he talked about Hinduism, this and that, they had all cock and bull stories telling about Hinduism. Oh, this India is so bad, their mothers are so cruel, they throw away their children into the river to be eaten away by the crocodiles, and the mothers are so cruel, they hang their children into the trees, and they have burned their women, like that, all types of stories they used to say. In the children's stories also. And they say, this is why there is no religion in India, send the Bible there, otherwise India will go on. This is a great, it is a country which is now going down because no religion, send the Bible there. And they used to collect funds. But when Swami Vivekananda talked about Hinduism, that is the greatest religion on earth, and then the first speech he gave, and all the wrong impressions about India was gone in the whole world. The whole world knew that India's spirituality is the highest and greatest. And after his very first speech in Chicago Parliament Religions, the best newspaper, the most popular newspaper, the New York Herald, wrote, the greatest figure in the Parliament of Religions is Swami Vivekananda. So many religious speeches had come from all over the world, representing so many religions. But the paper said, the greatest figure in the Parliament of Religions is Swami Vivekananda. After listening to him, we feel how foolish on our part to send missionaries to India. Their religion is so great that rather we should invite missionaries from India. The whole scene changed. And the latest sister says, she died recently, Sister Gargi, Miss Mary Louise Burke. She did a lot of research. And she has brought out 6 big volumes. Swami Vivekananda, the Best New Discoveries. She has made a lot of discoveries, 6 big volumes. There she has made a discovery that the income of the Christian organizations fell down by 90%. It came to 110%. Why? Because people know it's no use. Already they are having good religion. Why should we send missionaries for it? So, Swamiji had to face a lot of problems. Some Christians became his ardent friends. So many became his disciples. So many became his friends. Harvard University professor of Harvard University, he became so much charmed by Swami Vivekananda's genius that afterwards when he said, you go to Chicago Parliament, he said, I don't have a letter of introduction. Then Professor William Hastie, Harvard University professor, he said, Swami, to ask credentials from you is like asking the sun as to what right it has to shine on the earth. And then he said, I will give you instructions. So he wrote a letter. Professor of Harvard University, he wrote a letter. Here is a man, he wrote to the chairman, Dr. Barrows of Chicago Parliament Religions Committee. Here is a man who is learned, more learned than all our professors put together. This is what he wrote. So whole scene was changed. So some Christians became his ardent devotees, and some Christians became his friends, but some Christians who had wanted for conversion and all that, they became very much agitated, and so they said, okay, we'll try to see how this heathen survived in this country. So they invited him. And suddenly they started asking questions on Christian religion. And Swamiji knew so much about Christianity that he started giving replies. Afterwards, these people, they fell short of the knowledge. So the whole audience said, he knows more about Christianity even than the Christian fathers. So their whole plan failed. Then second time they said, again invite him for a dinner. Again invited for dinner. Again suddenly they started asking questions on chemistry. And then he started giving lectures on chemistry and other things because he had the knowledge of Encyclopedia Britannica with him. So he started giving answers. Then their plan failed. Now they said, now this fellow must be killed. There is no other way out. So again they invited. And then in the coffee, they mixed poison. Just when Swami Vivekananda was taking the coffee, suddenly Sri Ramakrishna, his guru, appeared. Naren, it contains poison. He left. And then later on discovered, yes, it did contain poison. But he was saved. But he had to face a lot of trouble. In Detroit, when he was giving a lecture on how India's spirituality is great, then one lady got up. Swami, you are talking so high about India. Is it not true that in your country, your mothers throw their children into the river to be eaten away by the crocodiles? Isn't it true? She just started asking questions. Swamiji, he could give reply he immediately stood up. Yes, madam, that is very true. I too was thrown like this by my mother. But I was so fat that the crocodile could not eat me. And so I am here to speak before you. That is the way he used to give reply. The Swami Vivekananda was always humorous. But he said, always be cheerful. Don't be any time get frustrated by temporary failures. They are always temporary. Always go forward, go forward, go forward. Uttishtata, jagrata, prapta, vara, nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. In between there will be hurdles. Doesn't matter. Kiran baby she got frustrated, but when she read the books of Swami Vivekananda, she got surcharged. And then, now, do you know where she is? She is not in India. She is on a special deputation of United Nations. Now, she is the advisor of all the prisoners of the whole world. She is in that committee. And United Nations has asked her to come. Bill Clinton wanted to have dinner with her. 3 times she sent the message. But our Indian bureaucracy, they did not allow. 4 times she had to be given permission. Bill Clinton, that time President of America, he said, please tell us, you have done so much reform. How can we reform our prisons and our jails? Kiran Bedi, she was frustrated. Read the books of Swami Vivekananda, frustration gone. She got surcharged. There was one young man sitting on the platform of Delhi railway station. So he took out pen and paper and wrote down, nobody is responsible for my suicide. And kept the paper here and was waiting for the train to come and he will jump. He was waiting. Suddenly he remembered his sister was to get married after 3 months. My God, what will happen to my sister's marriage? Because nobody will then marry my sister. Then he changed his plan. Okay, I'll die after 3 months. So he survived. Now next day in the morning, he went to a bookshop to purchase newspaper. There he saw a beautiful photograph of Swami Vivekananda. He said, I want this photograph. He said, this is not photograph. This is a book on Swami Vivekananda. Front page contains the photograph. He said, I don't want the book. I want only the photo. He said, no, there is no photo in this book. Okay. He didn't want the book, but he took it because he wanted the photograph. Then since the book has come, he started reading. He read only 5 minutes. Life changed. Why? Why was he trying to commit suicide? Because he was frustrated. Why was he frustrated? Because he thought there is no life and meaning for the life. Why he did so? Because he was at that time serving in Indian Army. He was the driver of Indian Army. And when he was driving the jeep, there was a war with Pakistan. Suddenly, one plane came. They thought it is Indian plane, but it was a Pakistan plane, and it bombed. The bomb came to the jeep. The jeep got completely crushed. All the people on the jeep died instantly. And he was driving the jeep. He also got seriously injured. And then the Pakistan soldiers came to see whether all are dead or not. So he did a trick. He just stopped his breath. So they thought he's dead. So they left him. And then slowly, he crept, came to the camp. Then he was transferred to Delhi hospital. Somehow he survived. But then he became fully frustrated. What is this? This life is meant for what? Just for death. We are living only for dying. Because with his own eyes he had seen all his 3 friends dying. He said, what is this life for? Only for death? No, I don't want to live. And that's why he had become frustrated. But when he read the book of Swami Vivekananda, they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. No, I don't want to be dead. I want to be alive. I will serve others. He made a decision. Immediately took premature retirement from the army and he got 40,000 rupees as pension, went back to his village in Maharashtra and first of all, he repaired the temple and then gathered together youth. He started classes on education, on character building, and then stopped all the wine shops and wine making factories, the rural factories. Great opposition. The drunkards, they came to beat, but he got the beating, still he survived. And then he made the youth to go for many types of rural development activities. Within 3 years, that became an ideal village of whole of Maharashtra. And Maharashtra government became so happy that Maharashtra gave 300 crores of rupees for developing 200 more villages, and he developed them. Then he got Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan. You know the name of the village? Ralegaon Siddhi. Name of the person? His autobiography has come recently. There you will find this episode. Read his autobiography. There he says, I was sitting in Delhi railway station and I was frustrated. Read the book of Swami Vivekananda? Frustration? Gone. So how to get rid of frustration? I will be giving you some book of Swami Vivekananda. Read it. Frustration? Gone. Have always positive thoughts. To be happy and smiling always takes you nearer to God than any prayer in this world. Be cheerful. Don't get disheartened by temporary failures. Failures are the stepping stones to. If a person follows all the rules of total personality development, can he attain perfection? Surely. If yes, isn't there anything dependent on his genes? Yes, genes is there. So if there are good genes, it will take little less time. If the genes are bad, it will take a little longer time. That's all, and more effort. But everybody can achieve perfection. It's a question of time and how much effort you put in. If you want the students to volunteer for this mission, if yes, then how things will be executed? Please give us guidance. Very good. I am so happy that you are wanting to come as volunteers. All of you are welcome. Now, you cannot join Ramakrishna mission. Ramakrishna is meant for monks, and Sarada Math mission is meant for nuns. So if you want to give up completely as I have given or as we have given, completely. We have given our parents, children, our no family. We have all unmarried people only are taken. So we have left our parents, our home, our property. We can't keep bank account. We can't keep any money. And we have given up everything and joined as monks. And when we join as monks, we have to exactly do whatever the organization wants. We don't have our freedom. There is 9 years of training, during which time white clothes will be worn. After 9 years of training, there will be sannyas diksha, and then but you continue to do 2 things. Number 1, your spiritual practices, atmano mokshatam. Second, jagaditayacha. Whole day trying to do good to others. Various types of service activities are there. So you will be given some work, and morning, evening, meditation and prayer. So this is, and same way in Sarada Math also, those who are graduate, but you must complete your graduation first. After graduation, graduates medically fit, mentally fit, and financially fit. Financially, you must not be dependent on others. If your parents are poor, then we will tell you, first earn money, make your parents happy. Because you are wanting to make this whole world happy. First make your family happy. Charity begins at home. So make your family happy, let your parents be happy with you, you do your duties, and if you want to remain unmarried, if you want to lead a pure life and life of unselfish service, trying to do good God's work, and if you want to become a nun, join Sarada Math. But all need not become nuns, all cannot become nuns. Most of you will have to become enlightened citizens. So that what you can do is, for second thing, if you want to volunteer, you go to Sarada Math and volunteer yourself. Even Ramakrishna Mission, you see, some of our sisters are working in bookshop and all that. That also you can do. But to start with, what I will say is that you keep in contact with our ashrama. At Math, Pune Math, that is at near Vithalwadi, and at Sarada Math. Keep in contact, go occasionally, you make use of their library, and whenever there are celebrations, you volunteer yourself. Second thing is, those who are near Chinchwad, they can join our Ramakrishna Vivekananda Kendra Chinchwad Center, and they are organizing this bookshop, these exhibitions, so you can volunteer your services for that. And third thing is, I have told your principal that you can have a Vivekananda Youth Study Circle or Sarada Youth Study Circle, like that. And once a week for 1 hour, all may not join, it may be optional, not compulsory. So 13, 10, 15, 20 girls together, you read out something, discuss among yourself. Every week there may be presentation by 1 or 2 girls, what she has read during the whole week, and you share with others. So within a year, 40 books you will come to know what is all there in 40 books. This is the idea that I have given. I have also given the idea, as I give to various schools and colleges, youth study circles, annual competitions, speech competitions. And if you want to become volunteer, either you join. Joining means there is nothing. For becoming volunteer, Just keep on coming and say, I want to give my honorary services, and start giving the services. There is no formality in our organization structure. All these sisters who are working, they have not to give up any form, or they have not to give any membership fees, nothing. Just they started coming, they liked it. So even now today, you can become a volunteer. Join with them, start selling the books, you become a volunteer. It's so easy as that. Anybody wanting to offer, no, I want to become a volunteer, come and start selling the books, start showing the exhibition, you are a volunteer. There is no formality about it in our organization structure. I have no control on my anger. I get frustrated very soon. Have no emotional stability. Due to this, I every time create a problem for others. What should I do to overcome this situation? I am very happy that at least you have discovered your disease. So, a disease which is known is 50% cured. Now, once you are aware that you are creating problems for others, only don't create problem for others. Remember, I am creating problem for others, I should not create. Either at home or with friends. For that, what should be done? Emotional stability. Very nice thing. For that, what you have to do is, you must be pragmatic in approach. You know, it is good to be emotional, but don't become too much emotional. What Swami Vivekananda says, I don't want sentimental nonsense. Don't become too much sentimental. Yes, it's good to have good emotions. Don't become too much sentimental. Okay, I have tried my best for something. Do your best and leave the rest. But what happens? We try our best and we want to expect the best, and if best does not come, then we become frustrated. And why I did this like this? Then you become angry. No. The formula is, do your best and leave the rest. Leave the rest to God or destiny or to circumstances, as you like. Leave the rest. Write down in big letters. Put it on your wall. Do your best and leave the rest. Rest means don't give up rest. That's sleeping. Leave the means less of the problems you leave. One small girl, she says, I told her this formula. She said, if I give up the rest, then what will happen to my health? I said, you need not give that rest. You rest for 5-6 hours every day. This rest means leave the rest of the problems to destiny or God or to circumstances. So do your best, leave the rest. Do your best and be ready to accept the worst. Do your best and be ready to accept the worst. Then you will be prepared. Otherwise you will get frustration. So I will advise this particular girl, no control over my anger. And you know, anger, when does it come? You analyze. Many people have got this problem of anger. When does anger come? Always you will find out, you will analyze. मैंने सोचा था ऐसा नहीं हुआ क्यों? I thought like this, that it should happen like this. Why it did not happen? I told my daddy, I want shoes of 800 rupees. Why? He did not purchase. Why only 300 rupees? Why? I. So I is always there. I has to be little subdued. Ego. Ego is our problem. And second thing is that I expect everything should happen according to what I feel. It will not happen. It has never happened. It will not happen. Be prepared for that. Be pragmatic and practical in approach. Always it will not happen. Sometimes it will happen. Sometimes it will not happen. You have to be prepared to face that calamity and go on trying. So don't get frustrated. So anger comes when something does not happen according to our will. So do your best and leave the rest. Expect the worst. Accept the worst. Expect the best, but ACCEPT. Accept the worst. EXPECT. Expect the best. ACCEPT. Accept the worst when it does not happen. Okay? If you remember this formula, you will become more emotionally stable. And every day you need this dose of stability. Every day read books of Swami Vivekananda, Sharda Devi, Ramakrishna. 5 to 10 minutes of satsang. If you can have a person who is positively oriented, well and good. If not, read these books. And prayer. Prayer also helps. Oh Lord, please make me emotionally stable. Yes, prayer helps a lot. So every day, try to pray. That will help a lot. How to improve self-confidence? According to modern psychologists, develop PMA. Avoid NMA. What is PMA? Positive mental attitude. Avoid NMA. Negative mental attitude. For looking at any circumstance, any incident, there are two ways of looking at a thing. One is positive, another is negative. There is a glass half full of milk. PMA will say, glass is half full. NMA, glass is half empty. He will start weeping, glass is half empty. So, both are right, but only thing, one is looking at the empty side, another looking at the full side. Similarly, anything happens in our life, there are always two ways of looking at it. I got 60%, I expected 90%, now I will commit suicide. NMA. I have got 60%, I have got first division, next year I will try my hard and I will get first class first. PMA. So, for anything, there are always two ways of looking at a thing. So, always a positive way of looking at things. That is number one, self-confidence. Second, you must come in touch with persons who are having PMA. As I told you, if you come in touch more with NMA people, you also develop NMA. So try to refrain yourself in keeping more touch with NMA people. Try to avoid NMA people. Try to be in touch with PMA people. Then you will become PMA. And as I told you, Rabindranath Tagore wrote to Roma Rolla. If you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him there is everything positive, nothing negative. The first thing that will come to you by reading the books of Swami Vivekananda is that you will become positive oriented. Always positive, positive, positive. Swami Vivekananda never says negative. He said, if you tell a child you are a fool 10 times, he will become a fool. And if you tell a child 10 times that you are great, you are great, you are great, he will become great. So tell a child you are great. And that's why in America, they were all full of negative ideas. They were thinking, we are sinners, we are sinners, we are sinners. Swami Vivekananda went to say in America, you Americans always talking about sinners, sinners. Then he said, sinner, it is a sin to call a man so. It is a standing libel on human nature. Come up, O lions, and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul's immortal, spirits free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter, you are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. Ye the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Ye deem it is not sinners. It is a sin to call a man so. You must always remember, this is the Indian cultural, spiritual heritage that we have got. Whatever Vedanta says, in each and every human being, there is Atman. And this Atman contains infinite joy, infinite happiness, infinite knowledge, infinite life. Such is seen by us. Then how do we know? The evidence is some people have seen it. Who have seen it? Drishti. They have seen Atman, and that is the proof of it. Swami Vivekananda was a college student in Presidency College in Kolkata. He had read all the Western philosophers' books, Kant, Hegel, Spencer, Schopenhauer, and so he had become almost like an atheist. I don't believe in God. What is the proof? I want proof for each and everything. He was a science student. So he said, any great saint coming to Calcutta, you will immediately go. You are talking so much of God. Have you seen God? He will challenge. Nobody could reply. And so he became frustrated. Nobody was able to give reply to his questions. One day, he had gone to the college. English professor was absent. So the principal, Professor William Hastie, himself came to the class to take the class of English literature. And he was teaching them Wordsworth's poem. The Excursion is the name of the poem. And when he was teaching them, there is a description. The poet goes into a superconscious state and then goes into Samadhi state after seeing the beauty of the nature. Then the students ask, sir, is it possible that somebody should go into Samadhi state? Is it possible to get superconscious state? Then Professor William says, yes, it is possible. And I have seen one person who frequently goes into this trance, into this Samadhi state. If you want, you can also see that person, because that person stays in Calcutta. There is Dakshineshwar temple, Mother Kali's temple. There Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa lives. He goes into this Samadhi state very often. Then Swami Vivekananda immediately started for Dakshineshwar and went to Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to the devotees about God. For some time he sat down. After some time he said, he should the same question. Now enough of talking. I want to ask you one question. Please answer. Have you seen God? And then for the first time he got the satisfactory reply. Yes, my boy, I have seen God. Not only that, he said, I am seeing him more intensely than I am seeing you. Not only that, he said, if you want, you can also see him. But you will have to come to the laboratory and perform sadhana. This is the science of religion. Science says H2 plus O2 is equal to H2. I don't believe. Hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas. How can it give water? It's not a question of belief. Come to the laboratory, mix all hydrogen and oxygen, have electrolytic process, and then say, I don't believe H2 plus O2 is equal to H2. Similarly, Sri Ramakrishna says, I have seen God. If you want, you can also see. But you have to come to the laboratory. You have to perform sadhana. Practice Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. And after this sadhana, if you don't find God, then you say, I don't believe. Before that, you did not say that I don't believe. That H2 plus O2 is equal to H2O. It's not a question of belief. Come and have experiment. And Swami Vivekananda, he accepted the challenge and he really had vision of God. He entered into superconscious state, and then that is why he also had samadhi state and he had realized God. That's why in Chicago Parliament Religions he could say with his realization, Shulvantu Vishve Amritasya Putra Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Prastat Tameva Viditvati Mritameti Nanya Panta Vidite Nayana. I have seen with my own eyes that God's supreme consciousness. He could say with his own experience and realization. That's why he could roar in Chicago Parliament Religions. Shunvantu Vishya Amritasya Putra. You are the children of immortal bliss. Swami Vivekananda said to Americans, you Americans, we Hindus don't want to call you as sinners. No. What are you? You are not sinners. What are you? According to us, every human being is Amritasya Putra. You are the children of immortal bliss. That is the name given in our Upanishad. Amritasya Putra. You must remember the concept of a man between Western and Eastern concept. What is the Western concept? What is a man? What is a man? Immediately you will reply, man is a social animal. That is Western concept. But Benjamin Franklin says, no, man is not a social animal. Man is a tool-making animal. But after all, he is an animal. But Aristotle says, no, man is a political animal, but he is an animal. According to Alvin Toffler, no, man is an economic animal, but after all, he is an animal. But in Indian concept, what is a man? Amritasya Putra. You are not man. You are divine. You are God walking on this earth. You are divine. Amritasya Putra. You are the children of immortal bliss. Holy and perfect beings. Ye divides on earth sinners. It is a sin to call a man so. It is a standing libel on human nature. Come up, O lion, and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul's immortal, spirits free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter, you are not bodies. Matter is the servant, not ye the servant of matter. Swami Vivekananda used to narrate the story of a lioness and the sheep. Have you listened? Have you heard the story? There was a lioness going to the forest, and a flock of sheep was going. So, in order to cross this flock of sheep, the lioness jumped. While she was jumping, there was a small cub, a small lioness in her womb. Now, when she was jumping, that small cub fell into the flock of sheep. The lioness went to the other side, fell down unconscious, and then died. Now, this small lioness, where did it go? It had nowhere to go. So, it started going along with the flock of sheep. And sheep, they take grass. So, this small lioness also started eating grass. And this small lioness is going along with the flock of sheep, eating grass, going along with them and bleating along like them, bang, bang, bang. Started bleating. Now one day, big lioness was going, very big lioness was going along the forest. And it saw at a distance, a flock of sheep is going, bang, 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 lot of flock of sheep going. And to her amazement, she saw a small lioness is also going along with that, and it is also bleating, bang, bang, bang. This big lioness became astonished. Why? This lioness is bleating like bang, bang, bang. What is the matter? So she came near. As soon as she came near this flock of sheep, they became so terrified. They started running, bang, 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 started running. And the small lioness also got terrified, and she also started and running. And this big lioness caught hold of this small lioness. Hey, where are you going? These sheep, I can understand, they are afraid of me because they are sheep and I am lioness. So they are afraid of me, I can understand. But you are a lioness like me. Why are you afraid of me? You are a lioness. You are not sheep. The small lioness said, I am not lioness. I am sheep. Then the big lioness said, you fool, you are a lioness and still you are saying that you are sheep. You are lioness. You are not sheep. And the small lioness said, I am not lioness. I am sheep. He started weeping and started bleating. Now big lioness so many times he said, you are lioness. And this small sheep says, I am not lioness, I am sheep. Now this big lioness became very much angry. Caught hold of this small lioness, dragged it near the pond of water and said, look into the reflection. Look at your reflection and look at me. Your face resembles mine or that of a sheep. Just look. Now this small lioness looked into the pond of water. Then she said, sorry, my face is looking like this. Now you understand? You are a lioness, you are not sheep. Now give up this bleating. Roar like me. She started roaring. Now come to the forest and you will become the queen of the forest. And she became the queen of the forest. Now Swami Vivekananda used to narrate this story and tell, you see, this small lioness was already lioness, isn't it? It was already lioness, but still it was bleating like sheep. Why? Why? Because it was living with sheep. So, Jaisa Sang. So, your friends is very important. If your friend says, I don't want to study and I want to see more of TV and I want to eat grass. Grass means, eating grass means VTV, MTV and this TV and that channel. This seeing channels is like eating grass and so your mind will become weak afterwards. So, I want to also eat grass. You say, I also want to eat grass. Then your friend say, I want to fall down into the well. Then you say, I also want to fall down into the well. Well means the well of love, so-called love. And when your friend says, no, I want to study and become brilliant and I want to become like Kiran Bedi. He says, I also want to become like Kiran Bedi. I also want to become like Aarti Prabhakaran. You know Aarti Prabhakaran? You not heard her name? My God. You know, Aarti Prabhakaran is a big scientist, PhD in physics, and she was in America. One day she heard President of America is calling her over telephone. She couldn't believe her ears. What? President Bill Clinton calling me? She said it is a joke. No. Actually he was calling. Why? Because America had decided to start one very big institution called NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, just like NASA. But they were not able to find any person who can become the director of this institute. Finally they said only one person can be suitable and that is Dr. Aarti Prabhakaran, PhD in physics. And they invited her and she was given this directorship and within 2 years she did so much wonderful work. Span magazine brought out a special issue of her with the front cover page photograph of Dr. Aarti Prabhakaran. And then she said, what tremendous achievements one Indian small young girl of 30 years has brought. Her mother is a devotee of her Bangalore ashrama and Aarti Prabhakaran, how could she achieve this? Meditation. Right from childhood, her mother used to come to her ashrama and teach her meditation. Dr. Aarti Prabhakaran became the greatest director of NIST in America. So, you will become Aarti Prabhakaran. You will become Kiran Bedi. Lot of things waiting for you. Always remember, you are a lioness. You are not sheep. So, self-confidence will come when you realize your true nature. Inside each and every human being, there is infinite potential. Infinite power is within each and every human being. So Swami Vivekananda says, Hindus refuse to call you sinners. No, you are children of immortal bliss. You are Atman. Say, I am Atman. You are all powerful. You are all powerful. You are all powerful. Always Swami Vivekananda used to tell them. Then, one day, one American lady says, Swami, you are trying to hypnotize us. By telling you are Atman, you are powerful, you are powerful. Always you are telling us, you are trying to hypnotize us. Then Swami Vivekananda says, instantly replied, Madam, I am not trying to hypnotize you. I am trying to de-hypnotize you. Already you are hypnotized. I am weak, I am weak, I am sheep, I am sheep. Bang, you are doing. I am telling you, you are not sheep, you are lioness, which is your true nature. I am trying to de-hypnotize you. So, remember this formula. I am not sheep, I am a lioness. But don't go to your house and tell your mummy, I am a lioness, I'll kill you. I made a lioness out of you, not for killing others, not for killing your mummy or not killing others, not for hurting others. Remember, there is lioness sitting on each and every. There is Atman beside each every human being. It is for serving others that we have made you lioness. So always remember, come up, O lions, and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul's immortal, spirit's free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter, you are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not he the servant of matter. So whenever you feel weakness, whenever you feel lack of confidence, just take up the book of Swami Vivekananda. Instantly you charge with self-confidence. So for those, this was the question, how to get self-confidence. So my answer is, there are so many ways, develop PMA. One way that unfailingly I will tell you is, every day before going to sleep, read 10 minutes Swami Vivekananda's book. Within 3 months you will find self-confidence coming to you. I challenge you. If not, you write to me, my address will be on the notice board. This pamphlet will be there on the notice board with my full address, you can write to me. I go to various schools and colleges, and then they write to me, Swamiji, when you came to our college, you told by reading books of Swami Vivekananda, but night 10 minutes before going to sleep. What happens? Your subconscious mind will be always full of those positive ideas. So it will, within 3 months, sometimes earlier, you will get transformation. Then they write to me, Swamiji, when you came to our college, we didn't believe that we will get confidence. But we started reading the books and we are getting confidence. So I feel so happy. Only some time back, I got a letter from a girl. At that time, she was studying in 3rd year chemical engineering in Dhanbad, in Bihar. She was studying. She wrote to me. She said, Swamiji, you had come to Ranchi. There was a youth convention and you told, you read the books of Swami Vivekananda every day for 10 minutes and you will certainly get confidence. I am reading the books of Swami Vivekananda every day 10 minutes, but I am not getting confidence. And after getting that letter, I also lost confidence. Because everywhere I was getting very good response. The first time I received such a letter that even after reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, I am not getting confidence. So I also lost confidence. But within a few days, she wrote another letter. Swamiji, few days back I had written to you, even after reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, I am not getting confidence. After writing to you, I started thinking, so many students are getting benefit. Why should I not get benefit? So I started reading the books again. This time not only with the eyes, but also with the mind. And I am getting confidence. And after getting letter, I also started getting confidence. So today, with full confidence, I can tell you, read the books of Swami Vivekananda every day 10 minutes while going to bed, and you will get confidence, with full confidence. And if you are not reading, if you are not getting confidence, something wrong with your reading. Read with not only eyes, also with the mind. With concentration, and you will certainly get confidence. So that is one way of getting confidence. Is it necessary always to think positive, or it is dependent on situation to think positive or negative? In some cases, negative thinking is also important. That means already you are gone. Gone. Already she is thinking that negative thinking is good. Negative thinking is never good. Always have positive thinking. Of course, when deciding, you must take negative factors into consideration. That's a different thing. But never think, oh, supposing if I go on scooter, and if I meet with an accident. And if you are thinking of accident will happen. But when you start with the scooter, there are certain laws. You must have a helmet that you wear because there is a chance of accident. So you take all possible care. That is not negative thinking. That is taking care of negative factors. But never have negative thinking. These two are different things. Taking care of all the negative factors, that's one thing. And thinking negative, अरे accident होगा तो क्या होगा? अरे accident हो जाएगा तो हो ही जाएगा फिर. How to overcome tension? This is a one important question. Everybody is having tension. Always remember. And it's good to have tension. Some tension you must have. Sometimes, some students do not have any tension. Throughout the year. When the examination dates are declared, then they start getting the tension. That is very bad. Have small tension right from the beginning of the session. Small tension, not much. Little tension is good. The little tension makes you work harder. There is an optimum level of tension. Too much tension, bad. Too less tension, bad. Because then you don't work. So some tension is good, optimum tension, but not much, because that makes you negative, that makes you frustrated, that makes you depressed. No, depression should not be there. So whenever there is tension, always remember there are one way is closed, there are 10 doors open. Always remember, 10 doors are open. There may be so many other solutions to your problems. Don't get disheartened. Life is full of problems. Face the brutes. This is the one Swamiji Vivekananda had learnt in his life. Swami Vivekananda, when he was a wandering monk, he was passing through Varanasi. In Varanasi, there is a temple of Durga Devi. You will find even now there is a temple of Durga Devi. On both the sides there are big walls, very high walls. And Swami Vivekananda after darshan was going ahead. Suddenly he saw many big monkeys with very black faces. So many, and stout monkeys, long monkeys, started chasing. And Swamiji became afraid, so he started running. Now on the two sides there are big walls, so he started running, and the monkeys are chasing, and Swamiji is running ahead, and the monkeys are running behind. After some time, Swamiji became tired, but what to do? Both the sides there are walls, so he can't do anything. So he was just thinking what to do. Suddenly he heard some old monk calling at him, "Hey, daro mat, bandar ka samna karo." Suddenly he remembered, and so he turned like this, and just as he did like this, all the monkeys ran away. When he faced the monkeys, all the monkeys ran away. Then in his lecture in America, he said, "That day I learned one of the greatest lessons of my life." What is that? Face the brutes, face the monkeys, face the difficulties of life. If you become afraid, the difficulties will follow you, chase you. But if you face the difficulties boldly, difficulties will go away in life. Always remember, difficulties will come in life. But if you become afraid, they will pounce down upon you like those monkeys. But if you face the brutes boldly, face the difficulties courageously, difficulties will go away. Remember this formula. Face the brutes. You are a lioness, you are not a cub. And so, face the difficulties courageously. If you remember this, you will get tremendous confidence. You will not get count down. Tension will not overcome you. Tension will come. It will make you more hardworking, but never overcome you. What is the aim of life, reason of life, and how to decide it? Well, this you have to decide yourself, thinking, but these books will help you to think what is the purpose of my life. Ultimate aim of life is to manifest the divinity within. Manifest the infinite power and get infinite light, infinite joy, infinite love. That is our purpose. I often get degraded by my professors when I haven't done anything. So what should I do? Very good question. Listen, I often get degraded by my professors when I haven't done anything. So what should I do when the situation comes? I lose my mental stability, can't cope up with my studies. I am really disturbed because of all these things. What should I do? It's a very sincere question from a very sincere girl. Don't laugh. Now, try to do your best. Number one, try to have, I don't have time. Tomorrow I'm going to talk at youth convention about time management, but I will tell you what to do. Time management is very important. I am not able to do the work. Why you are getting degrading remarks from the professor? Because you haven't done the work. Why don't you do the work? Because I don't have the time, isn't it? Now, how to get the time, I will tell you. Now, everybody gets 24 hours. Anybody getting less? Raise your hand. Nobody is getting. In everybody's account, in the morning, 86,400 seconds are deposited. Not a single second is less. But this is a very peculiar time deposit. After the whole day, whatever time you have invested properly, whatever time you have utilized properly, that will remain. The rest of the time cannot be carried forward. Gone. Next day, again 86,400 seconds will be deposited. But no carrying forward. So, try to utilize each and every second. If you had a bank in which your bank account says, every day I will give you 86,400 rupees. But if you don't use the money, it will be gone. Next day again 86,400 second comes. Then what will you do? Utilize each and every rupee. Similarly, each and every second should be properly utilized. Whatever properly not utilized is wasted. It cannot come back. So, utilize each and every second. So, for that what you should do? Prepare a timetable. Prepare a routine timetable which suits you. Practicable timetable. This is the time of getting up. This is the time of sleeping. This is the time for studies. This is time for this. This regularity will give you lot of efficiency, lot of concentration. One of the ways of getting concentration of mind is this routine life. Many students come to me. I tell, अच्छा तुम कितने बजे उठती हो? I ask one girl student, कितने बजे उठती हो? कुछ निश्चित नहीं है, कभी 6 बजे, कभी 7 बजे, रविवार तो 12 भी बज जाता है। अच्छा सोने का टाइम क्या है? निश्चित नहीं है, कभी 10 बजे, कभी 11 बजे, अच्छी पिक्चर देख भी बज जाता है। अच्छा तुम्हारा पढ़ाई का टाइम क्या है? निश्चित नहीं है, मूड आकर पढ़ लेते। अच्छा तुम्हारा खाने का टाइम क्या है? निश्चित नहीं, भूख लगती खा लेते। अच्छा तुम्हारा खेल कूद का टाइम क्या है? निश्चित नहीं, कभी खेलते कभी नहीं खेलते। अच्छा तुम्हारा टीवी देखने का टाइम क्या है? निश्चित नहीं, कुछ भी पूछो निश्चित नहीं। फिर वो मेरे पास आके पूछती है, अच्छा स्वामी जी ये मन की एकाग्रता कब आएगी? मैं बोलता कुछ निश्चित नहीं। तुम्हारा कुछ निश्चित नहीं तो एकाग्रता निश्चित नहीं आएगी, कहां से आएगी? तो एक टाइम टेबल निश्चित करो, इतने बजे उठना, इतने बजे सोना, इतने बजे पढ़ना, 6 to 7 आवर्स स्लीप। कभी लड़कियां क्या करते मेरे को मालूम, वो रात को चाय बनाएगी, चाय बना के पीगी, मेरे को होमवर्क करना है, बहुत पढ़ना है, थोड़ा सा पढ़ना, फिर नींद आई, फिर तू आ तो जरा गपशप करे, नींद आ रही है, उसके साथ गपशप किया, फिर बोले अरे मूड नहीं आ रहा, चाय, फिर 1 कप चाय और पियो भाई, और चाय, और चाय पीने गपशप करने में 2 बजा दिया। फिर दूसरे दिन बहुत बेकार बेकार लग रहा है, सिर दर्द दे रहा है, चलो आज कॉलेज नहीं जाना, आज सो जाओ, गया खत्म। सो ट्राई टू इकोनॉमाइज ऑन, डोंट इकोनॉमाइज ऑन स्लीप। 6 से 7 घंटे की नींद चाहिए हर एक आदमी को। यू हैव ए स्लीप, वो टाइम तुम निश्चित कर लो। किसी का है ना, वो लोग राक्षस योनि में पैदा हुए, तो उन लोगों को क्या है, रात को उनकी शक्ति बढ़ जाती है और दिन को वो लोग उठ नहीं सकते। उनको बोलो अर्ली मॉर्निंग, बोलो अहम ग्राम, वो अलार्म रख देते हैं, अलार्म रख दिया, सुबह 6 बजे का अलार्म रखा, अलार्म बजा, बंद करके फिर सो गए चादर का। कितनी लड़कियों को मैं जानता हूँ, आई नो पर्सनली, आई हैव गॉट मेनी फ्रेंड्स। सो ये ऐसा होने से नहीं चलेगा। या एक निश्चित कर लो, मेरे को अर्ली मॉर्निंग उठना है तो उठना ही है, तो रात को जल्दी सोना पड़ेगा। 6 to 7 आवर्स स्लीप इज अ मस्ट। 6 आवर्स स्लीप, डोंट इकोनॉमाइज ऑन स्लीप। या उसको ब्रेक कर सकते हो, दोपहर को तुमको नींद आती नहीं, बिकॉज यू कैन नॉट स्लीप, हियर प्रोफेसर विल कैच यू। डे टाइम की कॉलेज है ना, इसलिए दोपहर का सोने का नहीं है। तो या रात को 10 बजे सो जाओ, 10 बजे सो जाओ, सुबह 5 बजे उठो। अर्ली मॉर्निंग इज द बेस्ट टाइम। उस समय क्या होता है, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बहुत अच्छा रहता है, बिकॉज ऑल आर स्लीपिंग। जो लोग नाइज करने वाले सब सो जाते हैं, टीवी भी बंद रहता है, बाहर का एटमॉस्फेयर भी काम एंड क्वाइट रहता है। So that is a very nice time. But if you cannot get up early in the morning, best is getting up early in the morning. 4-5 दिन बहुत तकलीफ होगा, बट उसको उठ के क्या करना चाहिए मैं बता देता हूँ। हमारे ड्यूटी है ना, उनके मैं गया था, तो बोले ये जो लड़की है ना, वो सुबह हम लोग इतना उठाते हैं, उसका नाम भक्ति है, भक्ति भी बहुत है, पर सुबह नहीं उठ सकती है, और उसको उठाते हैं तो बाथरूम में जाकर सो जाती है, और उसका क्या करना है? बोले ठीक है, मैं उसको इलाज मैं करता हूँ। दूसरे दिन मैं गया वहां पर, रात को सुबह देखा भक्ति नहीं है, उसे बुलाओ, सुबह 5 बजे में हम लोग का अभी प्रार्थना होगी, बुलाओ उसको। तो भक्ति को लाया, पकड़ करके लाया, बोला क्या कैसी हो? बहुत नींद आ रही है। अरे ठीक है, नींद आ रही है, अच्छा चलो। उसको मैंने पकड़ा, छोटी 10 साल की लड़की थी उस समय, तभी तो बड़ी होगी, शादी भी होगी, डिवोर्स भी हो गया, आजकल डिवोर्स बहुत हो रहा है। तो उसको उठाया लेकर के ऐसा, फिर उठक बैठक 20 बार किया। बोले जाके सो जा। अब कोई नींद आएगी? बोला यही तेरा सोल्यूशन, रोज पहले 15-20 बार बैठक कर, उसके बाद तुम्हारी नींद सब गायब हो जाएगी। उठने के बाद तुरंत एक्सरसाइज करो, सुबह नींद कहीं गायब हो जाएगी। मेक ए फर्म डिटर्मिनेशन, आई विल गेट अप मॉर्निंग 5 o'clock, यू कैन गेट अप, बट अलार्म क्लॉक शुड बी फार अवे। और उठने के बाद तुरंत बिस्तर से गिरना के लगेगा, थोड़ा लगेगा, लगने दो, लगने से नींद गिरा, फिर 10-20 बार उठ बैठ कर लो। उसके बाद में पानी छीटो, पानी छीट कर एक्सरसाइज कर लिया, 1 कप चाय पी लो, हो गया। देन यू कैन सिट डाउन फॉर योर मेडिटेशन प्रेयर 5 minutes and 5 minutes of reading of स्वामी जी, 15 मिनट में माइंड फ्रेश हो गया। देन यू सिट फॉर स्टडी, बहुत अच्छी स्टडी होगी, ब्यूटीफुल, दिस इज द आइडियल। इफ यू कांट डू दैट, नहीं मैं तो राक्षस योनि की हूं, मैं सुबह नहीं उठ सकती, कोई बात नहीं। तो राक्षस लोगों का रात को बढ़ जाता है एनर्जी, तो तुम्हारा रात को बढ़ जाता है, तो कोई बात नहीं, तुम एक टाइम टेबल बना लो, एवरी डे मैं रात को 2 बजे तक सोऊंगी, 2 से 8, ठीक है, वो भी है। 2 से 8 बजे तक सो, 2 बजे सो जाओ, 8 बजे उठो, रात को 2 बजे तक पढ़ाई, रात को किसी की पढ़ाई अच्छी तो यू डिसाइड। परंतु एक साथ 5 या 6 घंटे का सोना बहुत जरूरी है। इवन इन द एग्जामिनेशन के पहले भी 3 या 4 घंटा, इफ नॉट 6 आवर्स, 3 या 4 घंटे का नींद जरूर लेना। और उस दिन पढ़ाई मत करना, ओनली गो थ्रू, रिवाइज दी योर नोट्स, दैट्स ऑल, नोट बुक्स, रिवाइज नोट्स। हाउ टू स्टडी इफेक्टिवली, मैंने जैसा बताया उस प्रकार से जो लोग पढ़े हैं। एक लड़का, मैं इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट की बात कर, लड़का फर्स्ट ईयर में फेल हुआ, सप्लीमेंट्री में पास हुआ, सेकेंड ईयर में फेल, सप्लीमेंट्री में पास, फाइनल ईयर में गोल्ड मेडल 1% कम, फर्स्ट क्लास 4th मेरिट लिस्ट में आया, जस्ट बाई द, मैं जैसा बता रहा हूं इस प्रकार का स्टडी उसने किया। हाउ टू स्टडी इफेक्टिवली, नोटबुक है ना, विवेक नोटबुक, उसमें दिया हुआ है, उसको एक नोटबुक, एक कॉपी दे देना, वन सैंपल कॉपी, आफ्टरवर्ड्स यू कैन परचेज दिस नोटबुक। बट दिस हाउ टू स्टडी इफेक्टिवली, वेरी सिंपल थिंग बट वेरी वाइटल। वन इज रूटीन टाइम टेबल, निश्चित दिनचर्या बना लो। टाइम डिपॉजिट के लिए सब निश्चित कर लो, इतने बजे उठना, फिर इतने बजे उठना तो इतने बजे उठना, 8 बजे उठना तो 8 बजे उठना, 5 बजे उठना तो 5 बजे उठना। और धीरे धीरे से 8-10 दिन के बाद होल योर बॉडी एंड माइंड विल गेट एडजस्टेड। फिर तुमको सेटलिंग डाउन टाइम नहीं लगता है। जो लोग क्रिकेट खेलते हैं उनको मालूम है, सेटलिंग डाउन टाइम बहुत लगता है, फिर सेटल डाउन होता है, फिर वो लोग शॉट मारते हैं। So similarly, our body and mind requires settling down time. But every day, if you are reading at the district time, fixed time, then you will get concentration of mind. So prepare a timetable. So if you prepare like this, then you will get more time because concentration will increase. You will have systematic study systematically as told by me. I'll give you how to study effectively, and I think you will not get any adverse remark from your professor. I am very sure, because you will make proper use of your timetable, time management, you will have proper studies, and when you prepare the lessons, the professors will not tell you anything. And I will tell your friends also, I don't know who is she who has written and who are her friends, but the friends should also become more sympathetic to her, because some people have low IQ, some have high IQ, some have got low this one, doesn't matter. So you help her in studying, in making her lessons, rather than laughing at her. Try to be sympathetic. Even the professors also should be sympathetic. Try to find out what is the matter, why you are not able to do lessons, what is the reason. Some people have got depression, some family problems are there. Some girls I know, they have got family problems, father has gone away, this, that, so many problems. So try to find out and try to be sympathetic. But I tell this girl, even if somebody doesn't become sympathetic, you become sympathetic to yourself. And read the books of Swami Vivekananda, become powerful, face the truth, and complete the lessons. Don't get disheartened by others' remarks. Do your best and leave the rest. I think even though I am more sincere and hardworking than my friends, I don't get results as they get just by working for little time. Yes, I will tell you one thing. There is one girl who is studying every day 8 hours. How much? But she says, I have got a habit, I can